One morning to you out there. It's really great to have you join us on the Break It On Papers Review this wonderful Saturday morning. And as usual, we're going to be looking at some of the major national dailies here in Nigeria. All right, my name is GBOALBO Female School, and it's really nice to have you join us today on the Break It On Papers Review. All right, we started with the Punch newspaper this morning. We have a host of other papers. We have the Nigerian Tribune and also the Guardian and the Cable NJ and a host of other papers here to review. All right, starting off with the Punch newspaper this morning. Insecurity anxiety as NYSC camps open in high-risk states. Trapped abroad, deadly trafficking network exploiting Nigerian woman in Egypt. Travelers grown in hellish Lagos-Ibadan expressway gridlock. Digital errors, how citizens steal millions through accidental bank transfers. And sit-at-home Anambra stops school closure on Monday, threatens sanctions. Ganduja's daughter graduate from King's College, London. And we have not for sale. Kwankwaso declares after Kano governor's exit from NNPP. More here on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Cable theft. NCDC arrests 2 in Kogi. Abducted Gombe community leader freed by police. 3 nabbed while trying to sell stolen tricycle in Enugu. Police deploy patrol teams in Adamawa community overnight attacks. And Zamfara local government mourns as bandits kill abducted Islamic cleric. And still here on the front page of the Punch newspaper, fintech remitter eases access to JAMB services. Federal government, Edo government back airport revival plan. In case you're just joining us, this is the Break It On Papers Review here from your Laughter Die 32 FM 94.9, and still taking headlines out of the front page of the national dailies here. And Fubara impeachment, court suspend order restraining Rivers CJ. And that's one of the big story here on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Kano governor, 8 reps, 44 local government chairmen, dump NNPP. Kaduna mass abduction, how escaped from our attackers. That's according to a victim. And other latest news here says how missing Oprah Benson was found in Liberia. Awujale, royal family members, traditionalist protests, alleged plots to impose candidate. Panic in FCT community as 27-year-old woman slumps, dies in boyfriend's house. Nigerian held for 6 weeks in Qatar, cries for federal government's help. And we have this one, Tinubu's reforms recalibrating Nigeria's Fourth Republic, says Dari. And still here on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning, a bit of lifestyle that says Simi opens up on struggles behind new song Where You Day. All right, still here on the front page of the Nation newspaper, APC UK school inspects ongoing Lagos Calabar coastal road. And this says ex-PDP national legal advisor joins APC. PDP crisis deepens as ex-spokesman resigns in Ondo. ADC lacks direction, unity, political future. That's according to Alawuje. An APC support group urges retention of 2027 zoning formula ahead of 2026 convention. All of this is some of the headlines you find out here on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning. We also look at the Cable NG and also get some headlines there out of the Cable this morning. And on the Cable says NISO says grid collapse triggered by multiple transmission lines tripping and betrayal of sacred trust. NNPP faults Abba Yusuf exit, rejects claim of party crisis. And Sultan appalling, Keir Starmer kicks after Trump dismisses NATO effort in Afghanistan war. And this is spotted Duncan Gary not on ambassadorial list confirmed by Senate. All right, we have this one. Tinubu won't win if 2027 election is free and fair, says 𝐵𝐒𝐒 Galadima. Federal government launches $25 million funding portal to support local sheep owners. We have discovered alterations in tax laws, says Reps Minority Caucus. And Abba Yusuf, 21 Kano Assembly members, 8 reps, 44 local government chairpersons resign from NNPP. Appeal Court disqualifies Olanikpekun Banire as counsel to Nesto Nekonde in $2 billion debt case. And we have this one. Court suspends order restraining Rivers CJ adjourned for Barra impeachment suit indefinitely. And blackout as National Grid collapses first time in 2026. Gunmen kill 7 youths at Plateau mining site. All of those are some of the headlines there out of the cable. We also take a look at the Daily Post and get some headlines out of the Daily Post this morning. Electricity supply restoration begins hours after National Grid collapse. And Rivers Court holds for Barra impeachment suit indefinitely. And we also have this one. EPL's goals makes title prediction ahead of Arsenal versus Manchester United clash. And that's some sporting news here. We also have this one. AFCON 2025 Chile's future, but Super Eagles uncertain after bronze medal. Okay, we also have other headlines here on the Daily Post news engine. INEC has hand in destabilizing Labour Party, and that affirmation is coming from Rep Afam Ogene. And Governor Yusuf's defection to APC will create many victims in Kano. That's according to Madi Shehu. We have this on Concreso warns supporters against money politics after Governor Yusuf exits from NNPP. Igbos need political partnership with Southwest North for the future. That's Deputy Speaker Carlos speaking. Kano Governor Abba Yusuf's friends pushing him to abandon Kwankwaso, 𝐵𝐒𝐒 Galadima claims, and Kano lawmaker Idris Dankwano resigns from NNPP. All of those are some of the headlines you find out here on the Daily Post news engine. We touch also on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, and on the Vanguard as well. The other headlines: killings, abductions soar after U.S. airstrikes as terrorists kill 183, abduct 366 in 27 days. And take over Rivers Assembly now. APC leaders tell NAS amid impeachment threat. And Yoruba Igbo leaders say continued coexistence untenable. And all the latest news here says the blue economy, what is the face we keep hearing about? And that's a question mark, a bit of feature by Stephanie Shaka. Ukraine-Russia hold second day of direct talks, and U.S. plan cocaine lab explodes, kills 9. And NLC shuts down Abuja, backs indefinite FCTA workers strike. Terrorists kill 6 in Secutor. LGA hit by U.S. airstrike. TUCLC. And that's TUC NLC issue 14-day ultimatum over health workers' pay, threatening nationwide strike. We also have this one. NLC, the Steelers protest Sachi drinks ban, accused NAFDAC of working against local manufacturers. More headlines here also says state police will curb movement of terrorists, bandits across states. That's according to Afenifere. Pastor, 2 hunters, others killed by Boko Haram in Blue Village. Oh, that says Pastor, 2 hunters, others killed by Boko Haram in Blue Village. Ashabi, Olorisha, police arraigned 7 suspects for arson in Kwara. All of these are some of the headlines you find out here out of the Vanguard newspaper. And of course, it's still the Break It On Papers review in case you're just joining us. And this is your Laughter Die 32 FM 94.9. And do remember, we're also streaming live on Facebook and also on YouTube in case you want to drop your comments there. And we're going to look at more papers because Austin will not be coming on board this morning for analysis proper. He has some pressing academic to attend to this morning. All right, we also have this one. Nigeria more complex than Lagos, but Tinubu knows what he's doing. That's according to Ladoja. Power restored to Abuja. Lagos orders as grid recovery begins. Johasso TUC NLC threatened nationwide strike. Give federal government 14-day ultimatum. We also have here scandal economy, how controversy has become career strategy in Nigerian entertainment. And this says Lagos state government set rules for intending pilgrims to Israel, Jordan. Malala Fund backs youth effort advancing girls' education in Nigeria. We also have more headlines there on The Guardian. EU plans $14 million support for security safety net initiative. Oil exploration INT'L offers to mediate between federal government Ogoni. And we have this one, Hajj Umrah Expo 2026 kicks off January 28. What is most striking in the headlines this morning is talking about the national grid collapsing for the first time in 2026. But if you look at electricity sector in Nigeria, it's still faced with myriad of problems, and that is where the conversation has been at for a long time now. But if we have to refresh our memories back to the time of Jonathan, we realize that there was projection of 5,000 megawatt. But since this collapse, in spite of the fact that some of the papers here are recording the fact that light are beginning to be restored in some states after the national grid collapse. They've always been this projection of 5,000 megawatt, but since it collapsed, we have about 24 megawatts. And since the Jonathan administration, we've not been able to move beyond 4,500 megawatt of electricity distribution in the country. If you look at it generally from the list of ministers of powers that we have, from Bat Energy to a number of them, Aliyu Abubakar, and a host of them to Raji Baba Fashola. And we also have, to some extent, Adilabo coming on board here under the Tinubu administration. When we begin to ask these questions, that is it that we have power ministers that were underperforming because the projections were really good, but what we do have is less of the attainment of some of these projections, because right from the Jonathan administration, it was projected around 2012 that electricity will be at 5,000 megawatts. And if you look at electoral promises even before then, we're hearing 16,000 megawatts, but those ended in promises. But what we have as that time till date is about 4,500 megawatts. And now you have electricity supply based on gas, because it's fired by gas. There's nothing we can do beyond the gas. There are no mini grids. For instance, there have been a number of discussions around creating mini grids like solar in order to assess what we have as national grid, and what is stopping states from doing power marketing from their states, regional, some kind of power grid, not really relying on the national grid. Because if you have Lagos relying on the national grid, you have Oyo, you have a number of states, then what happens? It means that the burden is on the national grid. What else can we say? Because the discussion has moved away from what we used to have, a centralized power system. Many arguments are saying that the monopoly within the TCN2 is overstretched by government. Why don't you also unbundle the TCN in such a way that you have individuals participating, especially the private sector? Those are some of the arguments here. And we've had ministers over time with blueprints of changing the way the momentum is and giving us a much better electricity in the country. Let's also look at the fact that we talk about estimated billion bills. Some people feel like kills revenue. Why don't you meter everyone? Why do we have this estimated billions going on? Because some individuals want to extort the process. But how then do we get back? Many are conversing for what appears to be state, some kind of intervention in this by having state or regional grid or mini grids where there will be supply of electricity from alternative sources rather than actually dependent solely on the national grid itself. And there's also discussions around having states, for instance, we have the DISCOs, we also have the GENCOs, being able to ensure that supply of gases are there in terms of the electricity generation. They don't wait until the contractors are begging that the monies for some of the gas supplied have not been paid. When we have the gas well supplied with fires, our power sector itself in good shape because you have underestimated gas supply. in the country. There are so many issues. It's like in a state of comatose, and we're hoping that the government finds a lasting solution. Some people are already saying some are intentionally sabotaging the process in order to benefit your interests when you talk about importation of generating sets to the country. Some individuals are already saying that some people in government are benefiting from that. So when the power sector works, it means that no side cord for them, no job again for them to actually bring those into the country. And beyond the contract, beyond the selfish interest, there is one major issue. How can we have power sector ministers who are not politically driven but technically driven in such a way that we have individuals who have the expertise to move the sector forward? Because there have been a lot of politics being played with Nigeria's power sector, and this is just beyond politics. It has to do with technical know-how and how much more the power sector can move on from what we have today. We're hoping that, there will be a lot of reviews being done in this sector in such a way that we'll move from what appears to be 4,500 megawatts to much more higher. Like what we have in Egypt and India, I think they are far, far better off around the world in terms of generating power supply and ensuring that households have power supply. There's been a lot of corruption if you look at the power sector over time, but these are issues that cannot be swept under the carpet. We've seen power sector probe under the Obasanjo administration yielding nothing but rhetorics, but talks, promises. This is what we've seen over the years, and I think we're at the stage where we should have matured above what appears to be rhetorics, promises, questions being asked over and over without some kind of answers being provided. So we've seen the roadmap right from 2012 under the Jonathan administration. There was an increase when Jonathan came on board. The power supply was not at the rate of 4,500 megawatt. He also worked on it to ensure that we got to that level, but subsequent government has not been able to shoot above that. Stand to be corrected from all what the statistics and records here that we have. The power sector has been dwindling, and having the national grid collapse again is really another eyesore. We hope that the government will do as much as possible if it's to overhaul what appears to be individuals who are handling critical positions within the sector as quickly as possible, so that we have power. At least if every other things are not in place in Nigeria, power is so essential to so many things that Nigerians will have to deal with, because without power you can't do so many things. Even in your house, your business depends on power, just like water supply as well. But if the government at least can get just the power sector, I think it will go a long way in reshaping our market, especially in the outlook of the international community in terms of opportunities and also investment coming into the country as we have it. All right, here in Kano State, we also have another headline here. Governor dumps NPP with lawmakers, local government chairman. A whole structure was taken out of a political party. And that is what we are seeing ahead of 2027 elections. Quite interesting time, and more movement will come. And this appears to be a political tsunami, for the NNPP here, because having the governor leaving the party, that's in Kano State, and there have been a lot of issues around political betrayal on the part of the governor here, who's decided to move with his whole team. And now talking about lawmakers, local government chairman. And the story is saying Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has resigned from the new Nigerian People's Party alongside 21 members of the State House of Assembly, 8 members of the House of Representatives, and 44 local government chairmen in the state. This was disclosed in a statement issued yesterday by the governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Tofa. Yusuf, in a letter addressed to the chairman of Disco Chiranchi, ward of the NNPP in Gwale local government area, formally communicated his decision to leave the party with effect from Friday, that's yesterday, January the 23rd, 2026, the statement said. And now we're going to see more of this movement happen, but the issue is, will the country move forward? But all of this political calculation, realignment, I think the major bone of contention for many Nigerians is have a blueprint that will change the way things are in the country. Because if you look at the northern region, it's been really below crisis. You have terror attacks, you have banditry, and these are very disturbing prevalence that we're expecting that the political class will move into action to ensure that there's some sort of safety and some kind of development that Nigerians can be reassured of home. Having home chaotic isn't a good one. Moving from one political party, forum shopping, it's not the solution. The solution is we having political leaders who can stand the test of time, address these fundamental issues of safety, electricity supply at the state level. These are conversations we're expecting that our governors will be discussing ahead of 2027. Issue-based politics, not interest-based. Some people have argued that defecting from one political party to another is not in the interest of the common man on the street, but is part of political calculation to benefit. Whichever the arguments are, what Nigerians are simply asking for is that if you're coming out, have a blueprint that is not just ending in promises, sharing rice, you have groundnut oil, you have bread being shared. These are eyesore, and it's ridiculous having a country that is giant of Africa having to do all of this kind of politics at this age and time. We should have moved past that. So moving from one political party to another, realignment, some argue that is part of the political structure of a democracy. But then once our governors, especially at the state level, moves, they should understand that what the people needs is a system that works, where they can finish school, for instance, and get job, where there is electricity supply, where the road network makes it easy to get to their businesses, move around easily, and there is access and no question of being scared to move around your surrounding because of issues of kidnapping. Some people refuse to travel for decades now because of the fear of being kidnapped. And all of that, even the roads, they are more or less, most part of the roads are more or less like death traps. So there are issues here to be dealt with ahead of 2027. We hope that this will be beyond politics of calumny, politics of interest. We'll have politics that are issue-based, that will address underlying issues that have left the country in a state of dilemma for too long. Those are some of the things that Nigerians are asking for, and those are not ambiguity, I think. For many Nigerians asking for these things, these are not big deal. In some countries, if we have neighboring African countries that are doing well, like Egypt, South Africa, I think Nigeria can also follow the queue and do something great, at least for the first time for the citizens. I'm not saying that the country has not performed in such a way, but if you look at the level of performance and what Nigerians are complaining about, nothing has changed. Right from 1993, if you look at the political slogans, the sick tones of politics, then it's still the same thing. We want more water, we want electricity, and in 2026, we're still chanting the same slogan. It means that we have not really done too well as a country. So it's an appeal. I think Nigerians are appealing to our political class to do better beyond moving from one political party to the other, to ensure that, we have this kind of development in the country that makes us stay back at home, not looking for greener pasture elsewhere. All right, still talking politics here, and of course, moving away from that, so security issues, these are intertwined. Gunmen kill 7 youths at Plateau mining site. So the killings are just out of place for us in the country. It gets really bad every day. And reading in the news on the headlines that killings do happen, these are not good stories for us to tell as a people. And this is saying gunmen have killed 7 youths at a tin mining site in Gakokuru community, Jos South local government area of Plateau State. The assailants reportedly invaded the mining site in the early hours of Thursday, and is saying in a statement, Gang Sunday Pauchok, Secretary General of Plateau Youth Council, Jos South LGA chapter, said The deceased were peacefully striving to make ends meet through legitimate mining activities when their lives were brutally cut short. This is not good news. You have it not just the youth. Virtually every aspect of Nigeria is faced with some level of insecurity. So we expect that as we have the political class planning ahead of the big picture in 2027, that they also look at these issues very critically. It should form part of their debate. We want to see debates and some kind of political manifestos that will reflect what the people want and change the face of politics in the country itself. It's really about time for us to go on our first break, and when we do come back, we'll be having more on the Break It On Papers review. Please do stay with us.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Every meal I cook must taste just right. Rich, delicious, full of love.
We hear you. Your Maggi Star in double cubes. Double the flavor, double the convenience. The same trusted taste you love. Maggi Star Double Cubes, made from fermented soya and other selected ingredients for that deep flavor and quality that only Maggi brings to your dishes.
Absolutely delicious.
Get Maggi Double Cubes today. Me and Maggi, so good together.
Win from over 80 million naira in cash and exciting prizes in the Golden Hunt promo.
This promo, there's no need for advert anymore.
Because
my mom alone can hunt down any gist. How much more 80 million naira in prizes with the whole family involved?
Naija, let the Golden Hunt begin. Just buy any Golden Morn Golden Hunt 30 gram or 45 gram promo pack. Look inside for a unique code and dial *8011*1# for a chance to win big. Promo ends April 15, 2026. Golden Morn. Make every day golden.
This year 2026, may you buy lands.
Amen.
May you build houses.
Amen.
May you live long enough to dwell in them.
Amen.
And see your investments yield every return.
Now that we have prayed, it's time to take action. We are Soft Sands Property, and we've partnered with your darling station, 32 FM 94.9, to kickstart your investment journey. Check out our lands at Orange Estate, Ido, off Ologuneru Road, and Mango Estates, Akufo, off Lifefort International School. A plot costs 3 million and 2 million naira respectively, with an option to structure payments for as long as 6 months. You can call or chat with Soft Sands on 0916 461 5000 or 0911-555-0055. Take your first step in owning your dream home today. Soft Sands Property, created to house the world.
Start your day and have a good time.
Kivo Creamer.
Where you need to have the break time.
Kivo Creamer.
It's not tea, Papa Garita.
Kivo Creamer. Kivo Creamer.
مرحبا لو وسهلا أسويك رمضان
أهلا وسهلا فمرحبا يا شهر الكريم oṣù bùkún oṣù àforíjìn oṣù rọmọdọ́nà máa wulẹ̀ máa rọra oṣù tí Ọlọ́run Ọba Allah sọ wípé gbogbo ẹni bá ṣe dáadáa kan níbẹ̀ òun yóò san ní ẹ̀san lọ́pọ̀ nínú iṣẹ́ ládá tí ẹ̀dá tún lè ṣe tí ládá ẹ̀dá ó tún fi tẹ̀sùn lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run Ọba Allah ó ní kí ẹ̀dá ó máa ná nínú tí Ọlọ́run fún lóore sójú ọ̀nà tọlọ́run kí ládá tèmi tìrẹ lè tún tẹ̀sùn lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run Ọba Allah pàtàkì jùlọ nínú oṣù rọmọdọ́n ìdí nìyí tí ìkànnì 32 FM 94.9 tá a kalẹ̀ ká sájà kan kókó ọ̀zùgbẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn fi ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àwọn ètò ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan tí a lè ṣe onígbọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ nínú oṣù rọmọdọ́nà yìí láti jẹ́ kí ládàá tiwa náà tún kún kẹ́kẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run Ọba àwọn ètò tí a lè ṣe onígbọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ bíi wáàsí ọlọ́gbọ̀n ìṣẹ́jú oníṣẹ́jú mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún oníṣẹ́jú mẹ́wàá àti oníṣẹ́jú márùn-ún bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ìrun pípè lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan àti àwọn ètò kíni àti ètò ìpolówó ọjà lówó tí ò gajara lọ fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ̀lọ́ Ali ní 081 43 38 0224 Yusuf 080 53 56 11 11:31 Ramadan ọdún yìí kò ní jẹ́ àṣemọ fún wa o. Allahumma àmín.
àwọn tí tún dòde oṣù Ramadan mọ́rí abá.
Win from over 80 million naira in cash and exciting prizes in the Golden Hunt promo.
This promo, there's no need for advert anymore.
Because
my mom alone can hunt down any gist. How much more 80 million naira in prizes with the whole family involved?
Naija, let the Golden Hunt begin. Just buy any Golden Morn Golden Hunt 30 gram or 45 gram promo pack. Look inside for a unique code and dial star 8011 star 1 hash for a chance to win big. Promo ends April 15, 2026. Golden Morn. Make every day golden.
Ìlera lọ́rọ̀, ìlera níyì ọmọnìyàn, ẹ̀dá tó lálàáfíà ní rojú ṣayé, ẹni tágbọ́ ara rẹ̀ jí pépé ní ronú àti gbáyé ṣe rere. Ẹ gbọ́, kí ló ń fa ìsàn kankan? Àátátà, ẹ̀jẹ̀ ríru ńkọ́, blood pressure, àtàwọn àìsàn ìfojúrí míì ti ṣara níjàmbá. Ẹ má wá lọ jìnnà. Dókítà orí afẹ́fẹ́ lẹ́tọ̀. Tẹ́ máa gbọ́ níkànnì 32 FM 94.9 ní gbogbo ọjọ́rú ọ̀sẹ̀. Láago kan ọ̀sán sáago méjì, níbi tẹ́ ti máa bá àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ lẹ́tọ̀ ìlera pàdé lanilọ́yẹ̀ lórí ìlera wa àtàwọn ọ̀nà àbáyọ. Sí láìsàn ìtọ̀ ṣúgà, diabetes, ǹjọ́gbọ́ wíwò, kí làwọn ohun kò ṣeé mọ̀jẹ̀ àtàwọn kò ṣeé máàmù fáwọn tó bá láìsàn yìí àtàwọn ìdojúkọ míì tó ṣeéṣe kẹ́yìn ó máa nílágọ̀ọ́ ara yín. Olúbímpé Fátóyè látọ́kùn ètò dókítà orí afẹ́fẹ́ níkànnì 32 FM 94.9 ìlera wa ò ní di fíafíà jẹ́gẹ́jẹ́gẹ́jẹ́gẹ́.
Every meal I cook must taste just right. Rich, delicious, full of love.
We hear you. Your Maggie Star in double cubes, double the flavor, double the convenience. The same trusted taste you love. Maggie Star double cubes, made from fermented soya and other selected ingredients for that deep flavor and quality that only Maggie brings to your dishes.
Absolutely delicious.
Get Maggie double cubes today. Me and Maggie, so good together.
Wake up, it's choco time. Dano Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open, pour, and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Dano Choco 3-in-1. Ooh, taste it, love it. Dano Choco 3-in-1. Ooh, I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
32 FM
94.9.
All right, you're welcome back. And still on to Break It Down Papers Review here on your Laughter Diet 32 FM 94.9 and still taking headlines. And here we have insecurity anxiety as NYC camps open in high-risk states. Questions are being asked. We have hotbed states for banditry, and that is the reality of the day. Based on media reports, certain states have emerged as hotbeds of bandit attacks, terrorism, and abductions. So questions are being asked. Why do we have core members been sent to states like Zamfara, Kaduna, Katsina, Kwara, Kogi, Niger, Plateau, Yobe, and Borno State? And if you look at the essence of NYC itself, because I was trying to look at the act this morning, this is supposed to be for unity, to ensure safety. For instance, the National Youth Service Corps, NYC, was established by Decree number 24 of May 22, 1973, issued by General Yakubu Gowon-led military government, created to foster national unity, reconciliation, and reconstruction after the Civil War. The act mandates that Nigeria graduates underage 30 set for 1 year outside their state of origin. So many things have changed since 1973, and our political class know this. There should be a review to the NYSC Act itself in such a way that it will reflect safety for many lives. If you want to build national unity, ensure that you learn other culture, language, you understand the geographical landscape of Nigeria. It's not by having your life losing your life in the process. And I think those are some of the issues that we have a National Assembly sit over, because there have been instances of scrap the NYC. What's the essence? People are dying. Young persons have been killed. And now people go for, after being in school for over 4 years, some 5, and now you go for NYC, which is just for 1 year, and you lost your life. It doesn't really make any sense. We are hoping, as usual, we're also appealing to the political class that something may be done in such a way that you will still serve with safety. I don't know what measures will be taken in order to ensure that we don't just put lives at risk. Because if you look at the story itself, says thousands of prospective corps members and their families are apprehensive as the 2026 Batch A Stream 1 orientation exercise of the National Youth Service Corps commences across the country, particularly in states plagued by bandit attacks, kidnappings, and bomb scares. These are not interesting times at all, and you have it in such a way that they say the fingers are not equal, obviously, from what we're seeing, because you have a number of the rich, the children of the political class, not in the country to serve. They are elsewhere. These are some of the statistics you've seen over the years. And you have the children of the masses, let me not say the less privileged here, being the one, their parents are the ones who will go and vote, and these are the same people whose children's life will be put on the line because they want to serve the country. It's good to serve the country, but it should be done in safety, and we're hoping that there will be some kind of policies that will protect the lives of every corps members, trying to serve the country for the reason of national unity. All right, we'll open the phone lines to also allow comments. We are live on Facebook and also on YouTube. In case you want to drop your comment, 32FM 949 Fenya with double E's on Facebook and also on YouTube. The numbers to call in are 070-55,000 949 or 080 97,000 949 plus 234 90 62,000 949. Those are the numbers to call into the studios this morning. The numbers again are 070-55,000 949 or 08097,000 949 or plus 234 90 62,000 949. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Morning. All right. Please go ahead. No.
We have a good child. Anytime we're having our own children, let's have a good one. You know that GBOALBO, go and Google it. Because this last news I just read, it's something that is giving me fear big. Do you know that my ex-girlfriend, when we did it again that time, but when she was posted to Adamawa State, I had to go and see her parents myself. I said, don't let this girl go by road. If you have to gather money, borrow money, contact people. And that was how the lady traveled before they deployed her back to Osun State. That's not where I'm going. Do you know that under Jonathan did that. You don't take southerners to north to go and serve in your region. But Buhari came and used some of our people here in the south and changed that policy. No one, it was after that some people were going from the north to some. All of them, that was where they did from Akwa Ibom, they did it Christmas of that particular year. And this Tinubu came now, it cannot revert that policy. Are you seeing what I'm saying, GBOALBO? People are just southerners. Money and power is our problem. We don't have any good plan for this region. You cannot, people as you are working for 2027, as you are built buying SUV, as you are the candidate to that party, no dream, no single brain will come to you that go and start in your region. Go and start in South. Take Yoruba to Akwa Ibom, take Yoruba to Anambra, big Anambra to this place. Let the northerners serve within their region. Careful. But this Tinubu will not do it, and his follower will not tell him. It's a shame. Let's have the best of today.
All right, thank you so much, Ade from UI. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
This Prince Omiadepusi calling from Apata.
All right.
You see, Joan did a very good job, and his goodwill is what our people are enjoying today. But it is very unfortunate. If you look at what happened to corps members in Rivers State in 2023 presidential election, you will not allow anyone from the southwest, anyone from the southeast, anyone from the north to go to any other regions than serve in their own region, which is very, very important. These corps members were shocked just because of maybe how much are they giving them for the election. It's not 30,000 naira or 22, if I'm not mistaken, which is very unfortunate. But these people are doing wonderfully well. Go to private schools, go to government schools. We see them there teaching our pupils, doing wonderfully, but we don't protect their lives. That is very, very unfortunate. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much, Bumi Adefose.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Hello, good morning.
We can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead. All right, the numbers again are 070-55,949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, I'm John Uzon.
Morning, sir.
Just like the first caller has said, I want to remind Nigeria that some years ago there was an election in the northern part of the country, and then it was during the presidential election, I think 2010. Just before I could announce the winner, let me tell you, 10 youth corpers from southern extraction were murdered in Bauchi State. 10 of them, none of them is from the northern region. I think it was after that the time that Jonathan decided let them start between here and there to avoid what happened. They even set up a panel during that time, and I think nothing happened. I say it again, 10 southern youth corpers, and all of them southern, were murdered because someone just announced that Jonathan was leading in that election. Just as he said, I think I would suggest in my own, let every person serve in their own region. I'm John Uzon.
All right, thank you so much, John. Joko there. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Miriam from Odegari.
All right, Miriam, please go ahead.
Thank you. Regarding the power grid that is collapsing, sincerely, it will definitely cripple the economy because it will affect manufacturers, even small-scale businesses. So I don't even know what we can really get right in this country, but still, I will implore the federal government to put all necessary things in place for the betterment of Nigerians. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Miriam, for that. On Facebook, we also have a couple of comments here. Tulokpiadi, good morning too. It said, please, which of the president's reform is Dari talking about? Because we all know that many average Nigerians have been plunged into abject poverty due to the harsh and questionable economic policies of the president. All right, we also have Oluwati Fadimi Juwon. It says, good morning. The PDP crisis won't end soon if they don't sort themselves out. They need to get their house in order because they seem to be the opposition party. We need to check the current administration. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is John Olariwaju coming from Majo.
All right, please go ahead, John.
Thank you very much. On the issue of neighbors, well, we need to review these things. We know that the reason the government of Yakubu Gowon established is to make sure that there is a unity among Nigerians. It was established, I think, after the Civil War to unite the country. But we can review it because the purpose of this establishment is that it's not working not working anymore. We are endangering the lives of the cause. Not only endanger, many of them have even met their death through this. Apart from kidnapping or whatever, even the road accident, our road is not even appreciated again. It's not like before. So we have to look at all this. Apart from road accident too, even the huge amount of money for transport. If you take someone from Ibadan now to Akwa Ibom, do you know the amount of money that we spend for transport? You will now put unnecessary expenses on the parents because he wanted to serve his country. And the provision is not even there. They need to look at all those things. It's not working anymore because of the rate of the transport. If the government cannot review all these things, I think the people need to stand up and say enough is enough for this. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, John. Olariwaju there. And still on Facebook, Sulaiman Sher says, anytime a national power grid collapses is a national embarrassment for us in this country. Earlier this year, Minister of Power promised Nigerian stable power supply in the year 2026. So unfortunately, the sign of incompetence of Minister of Power, Rabayo Adilabo, failed to fix it because it's easier said than done. All right, we have Anna Lebara, Dr. Mrs. from where it says, why the president taking Igbos for a ride? Why is no Igbo man among the four for the main countries? Talking about Ambassadoria here, where lies the Charter of Equity That's another question mark. It is judiciously applied. He who goes to equity must go with clean hands. All right, time is fast spent. We take this one from Adigadila. Adekunle says the recurring national grid collapse shows the failure of policy and political will in Nigeria's power sector until power generation and transmission are properly fixed and diversified. Economic growth will remain a mirage. All right, our time is fast spent. We have to leave the studios right about now. I must say a big thank you to all those still calling and to those who called in and to all the messages sent on our socials. We say a big thank you. And that's too much we can take on the Break It Down Papers review. My name is GBOALBO. Famous call. And of course, Baba Fender is up next. Do remember to join us next week for another interesting edition of the Break It Down Papers review. Bye for now.
Happy people.